time now for news from the left. Just months after CNN revamped their morning show lineup, launched a brand new show, the executive producer has already been ousted. Eric Hall has been moved to a new role as the EP of CNN Tonight, which airs at 11 o'clock at night. His schedule is going to flip upside down. The ratings are likely the culprit. As of Wednesday, January 18th, the show's 6 a.m. hour had 257,000 viewers, 52nd in cable news rankings. 7 a.m., 315,000. 8 a.m. jumps up to 423,000, but that's still 49th in the cable news rankings there. And they're still trying over at CNN. The numbers have not been good. They sold their soul to destroy Donald Trump. Did they think that they could just get away with that and keep credibility? Absolutely not. Moving on, Chicago's horrific mayor, Lori Lightfoot, has 8 people that won her job. Lightfoot participated in a heated debate last night. And although Chicago is one of the most dangerous cities in the U.S. and people that live there are so disappointed in her, Lightfoot attempted to tout all of her, quote, accomplishments.
My primary goal is to make sure that Chicago is the safest big city in the country. And we've made progress year over year, ending down 14% in homicides, 20% in shootings, and making sure that we hire more police. 950 were hired last year. We've hired over 200 detectives, but progress is something that we've got to keep making.
They're doing really great in Chicago. Just listen to the mayor. This was met with a reality check, of course, from the other candidates. Remember, there's 8 people that are trying to take Lori Lightfoot's job. There's a reason for that. Let's take a listen.
I'm trying to figure out how do we continue to allow the mayor to lie about the numbers. We are not down when it comes to before her administration started.
In Chicago, we've had a reputation where there's an 85% chance that you can get away with murder and not be convicted. It has emboldened criminals.
The young people in Chicago have been traumatized, and this administration has made it worse. And it's unfortunate.
The knives are out for Lori Lightfoot. I guess when you run a city that just, has bodies piling up, people kind of get tired of that after a while. Next up, they used to go to Mexico to get cheap weed and cocaine, and now they go for eggs. Egg smuggling has become the newest trend at the U.S.-Mexico border. Eggs. In Mexico, you can get a 30 count of eggs for like $3. Did you know that? 30 eggs for $3? I mean, that's like probably $12, $15 here. In the U.S., egg prices are topping $8 a dozen in some cities. I've seen them up close to $1 an egg at some of these markets when you get the full-blown, the hens, had the greatest life ever. Thanks to a hen shortage is the reason why. CBP is reporting a 108% increase in confiscated eggs at the southern border. The director of field operations tweeting out, the San Diego field office has recently noticed an increase in the number of eggs intercepted at our ports of entry. As a reminder, uncooked eggs are prohibited entry from Mexico into the U.S. Failure to declare agricultural items can result in penalties of up to $10,000. So you can bring in cooked eggs, you just can't bring in uncooked eggs. Maybe you should try to tell them that they're hard-boiled and see if they test them. Moving on, earlier today at the World Economic Forum, Jim Hageman Snabe, the current chairman at Siemens, as well as the shipping giant Maersk. You've seen those huge Maersk ships out on the ocean carrying stuff all over the world. A very wealthy businessman here who no doubt has personally a massive carbon footprint, as all very wealthy people do. Well, he kind of gave a nice little speech about his daughter convincing him not to eat meat, and he actually went along with it, trying to pretend that somebody like this not eating a burger every 3 or 4 days is going to make some kind of a difference. Take a listen.
My daughter, 24, inspired me and said, Dad, how can you advocate for these zero carbon value chains if you still eat meat? And so I stopped eating meat.
So just so you know, we can pull up what Jim's company looks like that he is the chairman of. Talk about a carbon footprint. Each one of those is laying on top of there is a semi-tractor trailer, the back end of one anyways. Look at the size of that ship. What do you think comes out of that ship to push that thing all over the world? But you know what? The chairman of the company is going to stop eating hamburgers. and we're going to solve climate change thanks to him. That's World Economic Forum talk there. That's basically how the whole conference felt. It was just a laughable display of virtue signaling in almost every regard. Nothing serious actually happens. Makes for good TV, though. That's why we talked about it all week. Finally, the Washington Post challenging Kevin McCarthy for not allowing Eric Swalwell and Adam Schiff on House committees. WAPO putting out an article saying that McCarthy earns 4 Pinocchios for his reasoning. But what basis is that under? I mean, obviously, we know what the deal is here. I mean, Swalwell is obviously compromised. Schiff obviously is a liar. They pulled Republicans off of their committees. Why can't a Republican do that back, especially if it's warranted? According to the Washington Post, the expulsions of Swalwell and Schiff are based on figments of the imagination, and saying that McCarthy warned of paybacks if Democrats started choosing which members could serve on House committees, which is what they did. They kicked people like Marjorie Taylor Greene off. Democrats punished 2 GOP lawmakers, and this is the payback, the Washington Post says. But here's the great part. They claim that Schiff has consistently maintained he did not know the identity of the whistleblower. This was in the Trump impeachment, the Ukraine whistleblower. And no evidence has emerged to the contrary, despite McCarthy's claim that he had lied about it. As for Swalwell, the Washington Post saying there's no evidence he did anything wrong, despite McCarthy's claim that a classified briefing suggested something nefarious. Now, both of these statements are false in actuality. More so, specifically, the Swalwell one is just demonstrably false. It's just outrageous. And Swalwell's running around on TV all week long talking about how this is so outrageous he's not allowed to be on his committee. First off, it's been proven that Adam Schiff knew who the whistleblower was the entire time. He also knew the Russia collusion narrative was very weak, but lied and lied and lied on TV because all he cared about was hurting Donald Trump. He didn't care about credibility or anything else like that. He is a partisan snake. You know what Adam Schiff is. Washington Post loves him. They're going to defend him. It doesn't change what he is. As for Swalwell, Kevin McCarthy was briefed by the FBI on Swalwell's ties to Fang Fang and says if the American people knew what he had just been briefed on, which he says Nancy Pelosi was briefed on as well, that nobody would want Swalwell on any committee, let alone intel, indicating that Swalwell can't get clearance in the private sector, something to which I at least haven't heard Swalwell deny. Washington Post has no proof that these two are clean or that this is outwardly ridiculous or that McCarthy's lying about his reasoning. They just can't prove that McCarthy, or they can't prove that it's not true. It's the same thing. Well, it's the same thing. Let me put it this way. It's the same thing they did with Hunter Biden's laptop. They don't want to look at it so that they can say, we have no proof that these allegations are true. It's the exact same thing. All right, finally tonight, some perspective. Florida's Ron DeSantis has banned a course that the left was labeling as an AP African American Studies class as a trap, the way that they labeled it, I should say. It's obvious to everybody except the lunatic media. The course contained, it's an African American Studies course, but it contained critical race theory, which they know is off limits. It also had a queer theory part of it as well. Both certainly added to the class, again, to set a trap. This is from people that wanted him to ban this class so that they could jump up and down screaming that he banned an African American Studies class. So here's how, obviously, you see what this is. Here's how Karine Jean-Pierre spun it today, and she sounded like most people in the media, just absolutely clutching the pearls. Take a look.
It is incomprehensible. If you think about the study of Black Americans, that is what he wants to block. And again, these types of actions aren't new. They are not new from what we're seeing, especially from Florida, sadly. Florida currently bans teachers from talking about who they are and who they love.
So they try to pretend, they try to gloss over everything that's really going on and make it seem like it's just an outrageous thing to do. I'd love to see the actual curriculum. It's probably crazy.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. Your retirement funds are being threatened with even more losses from record inflation, recession, and skyrocketing interest rates. Fortunately, the highly trained specialists at American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. If you call them right now as a special offer, they will give you a free gold coin on your first qualifying order, so don't wait. Call 866-935-4309. That's 866-935-4309 or text Newsmax to 65532. That's Newsmax to 65532.